What should a first-time supervisor do? Well, we're going to talk about that coming up right now. Welcome everyone, Michael Finley here with another episode of Leadership Roll Call, where we give you tips, suggestions, and recommendations on how you can become a more effective leader. Our topic today is, what should a first-time supervisor do? But before we get to that, I'd like to ask a question of you. What challenges did you face as a first-time supervisor? Please put your comments below. So what challenges do a first-time supervisor have? Now, it doesn't matter if they're hired from within the company or they're coming from outside the company into one. Every first-time supervisor has challenges. And we're going to talk about some suggestions for that first-time supervisor. You know, being a first-time supervisor can be stressful. In one study, it talked about 6 out of 10, 60% of first-time supervisors said that being a supervisor for the first time ranked only second in stress to getting a divorce. It's a very stressful time. It could be stressful because you're going from a peer to a boss. It could be that you're coming from outside the company into the company. Being a first-time supervisor can be stressful, but we're going to talk about ways to overcome those challenges. Now, the first thing a first-time supervisor can do is dress professionally. Look, I know casual is the new cool, but you know what? As a first-time supervisor, you need to set the tone. You need to show that you're a leader. And you know those college t-shirts that you wore? No more. Those football jerseys that you wore in high school? Get rid of them. You want to dress as a supervisor. I'm not saying you have to wear a three-piece suit every day unless you work in that environment, but you want to dress professionally. If you own a company, then you can wear a Metallica t-shirt every day. But until then, you want to dress professionally. The next thing you want to do as a first-time supervisor is immediately begin establishing a professional relationship with your coworkers and your employees. Now, what do we mean by that? Now, it could mean that you were a peer and you became a supervisor, or again outside the company, or transferred or whatever. But you want to establish a professional relationship, not a friendly one. You are not their friend. You are their boss. And you want to make sure that if you have to punish one of your employees, that this friendship is not going to get in the way. I would strongly urge you not to be friends with somebody, with your employees, on social media. That could lead to some bad instances. So you want to establish a professional relationship, not be their friend. Next, you also want to be available. Now look, you may be working on some project and your bosses are after you to make sure that it's done on time, and you really don't have time, but make the time to be available to your employees. If you have that big project with a big looming deadline, carve out some time that you'll be available. Let the employees know what you're doing and when you will be available for them to come to you. If you're traveling, make sure that you check in with your employees often. You want to be available for your employees. Next, you want to listen. You want to listen to what your employees are saying. You might have some mandate from your boss to fix things or fix the department, things like that, and that's all well and good. But to know what to fix, to know what's running well or what's not running well, you need to listen to your employees. Engage in them a conversation and listen to what they have to say. You want to listen to your employees. Next, you want to clarify expectations with your boss as well as your employees. You want to ask your boss what's expected of you. When should you give those reports? What kind of status report should you give your boss? How often should you communicate with your boss? Is there a time for one-on-one? If so, when is it? Is it a regularly scheduled time? All of those things, make sure that you clarify those expectations with your boss. At the same time, you want to clarify those expectations with your employees. You want to make sure they understand what you expect of them. So clarify expectations with your boss and your employees. And lastly, we want to be transparent. Look, there is no way that we can know everything. If we don't know something, ask your boss, ask a peer, ask your employees, ask them to explain it to you. Make sure that you understand it. You don't want to go off half-cocked on something and not really know what you're talking about, because that would damage your credibility. If you don't know something, ask somebody. Be transparent. You know, the transition to a supervisor can be stressful, but if you follow these simple guidelines, it will help ease that transition. I hope this brief overview was beneficial to you. If you have a comment about this topic or any topic that you would like to see in the future, please put it in the comments section below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our channel. Until next time, good luck with being a first-time supervisor.